my grandson. Also money for you guys to live.
Thank you, Daddy.
I also brought you a gift, go on.
A puppy.
Bugs.
Yay. Oh, I'm sure he'll love them.
He was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury. And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one. You looked at her head wound? If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear. For real? Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack. Genocide Jack, I'm sure. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned. Why? What makes it impossible? There's just no proof! No.
You came to me with your tragic little story. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale. Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise,
you said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
How many times do I have to tell you? I never said that, but you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
Now Oh, it can't be.
I tried. I swear I tried to control it,
But your efforts were useless.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is
The
nearly
show
finished.
always leaves a message written in blood.
Yes,
You
Funkback
don't-
Healer, if I am not mistaken. This is true love. I'll be damned if I let you come betwixt us.
I think it would be fair to say she's a show and a no-show.
Wordplay, seriously.
Just as much, you hello there. Is it me you were hoping to see? What the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this?
What happened to you?
Not Coco, that's a loser name, and what happened is a textbook split personality! So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's faults.
Intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
I don't think they say that.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
That's the murder scene answer. This is unreal.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you! I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creep? And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless! I mean, they just let this idiotic, bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town!
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive.
Shut your whole ass! Very!
Space.
But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit!
Suck it, Sherlock!
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth!
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah! I could never believe a word you say!
Maybe it's really right. So something's still bothering me. Okay, we need to get some more details about all this. Back to the game.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone!
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking!
When you compare your past murders to the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need? Give it up.
You killed her.
Sorry, but I...
You say that, but
Perhaps if you had an...
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're...
When you compare your past murders to the modus operandi matches...
no, it's wrong.
That's not right at all.
Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you! I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee. This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Actually, yeah, I do remember correctly. I paid attention. The victims fatal injury.
I got it! For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors.
Not just any regular scissors.
But Chihiro died from a blow to the head.
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right! In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto!
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
Right, say it is great how it's ending. Those with other terms like that cases, all their other suggestion is a statue for hands. How will you suspend her?
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrist.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I use my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement! Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac? Are you referring...
Listen up, Big Mac! There's actually one more difference!
What?
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
A pattern?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Lolly? I'm sorry, I'm not following what you're saying. Parents were in the Genocide Jack case. Here's the very difference between those things. Because she was a girl.
I got it! Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
You went her boy, not girl. Getting hotter at 32. Tetsuhiro Honda, 17. Suzy Gaku, 23. Hano Isai, 14. Ivani Takeshi, Yukita, 30. And so many others. There's no influence.
They were all... guys?
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl! But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So, since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is. It's a different matter entirely. When you're forced to kill in order to survive.
False. That's not true at all.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly cur?
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect!
That does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
So the dumbbell was just
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class, envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about
Who didn't
that?
actually cause a crime then? Bring your scissors.
She's fully equipped!
That's right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime! Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong! You can't, can you, gutter dogs, all of you! Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot! The rope's totally out of the question and...
I have no idea what's going on anymore! Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
But the body really was suspended, right?
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal, and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Actually, wait. First direction, someone used rope. A cable. Usually a power cable.
Here's my answer! Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Then, the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all? Oh, I'm on fire!
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious?
The way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange. The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom!
I'd like you to examine the victim's body. Be sure to examine the entire body very carefully.
Examine her carefully? No, wait, no, wait, no, wait, no, wait, no, wait!
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just based on religious grounds, you know?
Very well.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave this to me.
Sakura.
What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action?
That's not it at all.
Okay, here I go. I'm sorry, Chihiro.
Be sure to check her entire body.
Her entire body? I know you say that, but... What? This is... What is this...
What is it?
What is it? What's wrong?
Not possible. It's not possible.
It could be possible. Her massive frame trembled, which means something's not right.
This girl is
Is what?
Is a boy!
Ah, I see. So she was actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact.
What? You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
Ben, it's really true?
Chihiro was a guy?
Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
He was a cross-dresser? Oh, I'm really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting. Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom.
Now back to the trial.
I do apologize for keeping you waiting. We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
So maybe Chihiro was actually a guy.
And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room, and the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
Oh, crap.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
Oh, so...
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is the most titillating situation!
So now everything has been connected.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer.
Very interesting.
He's off in his own little world. What e-handbook is, when it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break!
I flippin' knew it!
You knew it? Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna. The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Interesting. I learned one new fact today.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
Meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed.
What if they found out by accident?
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that? I don't know of anyone who took their handbook.
I might know someone who did.
Actually, I do know someone.
Seriously?
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
The only one that might have been likely. You gotta be carefully, I'll point out. Let me tell you, it's it had to be Hawaii.
Here's my answer. Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna.
What? Why do you keep accusing him?
Because he
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna. And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on! You've got it all wrong! He would never kill! I don't accept this! Show me the proof! The actual solid proof!
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
No, he's wrong! Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall, isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually worked. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with... After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's, which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's, yes?
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student. It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake.
Son of a bitch! What's wrong, bro? Come on! Tell him he's wrong! You are wrong! You have to be wrong! Everything you just said is wrong! You made it all up!
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning? That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong. killer is you! First, let's take a look back to before the incident. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this. With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room? Simple, because she was really a he, which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, he met with someone there, and the person he met was the one who killed him. It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from. It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet, then removing the bloody poster, and finally carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course, but this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem. And that's exactly how the killer did it. With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch. That could have been the end of things. Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation, making things even more complicated. So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library, and then he got to work. He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime. He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter.
Final question.
Very well.
One of us tells only lies.
And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade,
By asking us only one
already
question.
disposed of
You must
Chihiro's
decide
bag and
which is
other
the real
belongings,
magic word.
arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of
My
evidence.
question will be,
Yes?
if you were your
Just as the
brother,
killer expected,
which one
the
would you
steam
say is the
sauna
magic
was enough
word?
to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow,
Which one are
the
you
killer
asking?
knew that the handbook
doesn't
couldn't
matter.
stand up to the heat of the sauna, and the reason they knew that is
That's
because the
easy.
sauna had
It's you.
already wrecked their own handbook, and that's how it all played out.
Then I choose you.
Enough.
Isn't
What
that
makes you
right,
choose me?
Mondo
I
O'Reilly?
told you it was him.
Yes, me.
If you were the truth-telling worm, then what you said will be a lie because you will answer truthfully what your lying brother will say. Therefore, I can safely say that the answer will be the opposite of what you say. On the other hand, if you are the lying worm, then you will tell me what your truth-telling brother will say, but it will be a lie. Therefore, the answer will also be the opposite of what you say. Understand?
We.
Of course.
I'm out for where I want to go right now. Want to do that? Everyone's come clear. Beaver time and nega time, what? Uh-oh. So the Mormon. I forgot how's this working.
Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen!
So then, you wouldn't mind if I played with this? Wait, what are you doing? No,
Show me
don't touch that! I don't know about you, but...
I won't
What does this one do? Diamond time!
If my thinking so far is right, Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that, we'll...
You don't gotta do that. Huh? Yeah, I did it. I killed him.
So, you admit your failure. No. So, you admit your murder. Hey.
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just... give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that!
Wait! Hold on!
No waiting! No holding on! Time for the moment we've all been waiting for! Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around? Will you make the right choice? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Be quick about it. And the killer is... We got a standing ovation. I got us coins too.
What?
Uh-oh, it looks like you got it right again. Isn't it so? The Blackened that killed Chiro Fukusaki was... Mondo Wada! Oh man.
Unbelievable.
But it was not anonymous. Kiyotaka chose the wrong answer. You're turning very close to the danger zone, Mr. Ishimaru. You need to be more careful.
Sorry.
Sorry.
What is this?
Now then.
Well, looks like Ronald's taking the battle aside, so let me explain on his behalf.
Actually...
The murder this time is a sad story of two men. If anyone doesn't really want to hear it, you can have the sickle button that's for me text. Okay. Anyway, there was once a young boy.
Pretty much from day one, Fujisaki was way too curly for his own good. I mean, look at those eyes! Broe was seriously moe.
You're a boy. You heard of things like that as long as you can remember. They can overcome his weaknesses. On the contrary, he tried to hide and bury himself further and further into that weakness. So he went right to form a petty young girl. It shows him that as his way out. That's his way into death and murder. No, nobody will be able to... Now, nobody will be able to... But no matter how tightly your wraps up in... No, wait, I won't. But no matter how tightly your wraps up in that shell, in a Victoria complex, they only take a deep root inside of him, and it was also easily weeded out. As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. Like coincidence here, it steadily grew stronger and stronger. I'm
Weak.
Once the killing had begun at the school, he had no choice but to accept his fate. After all, this world is survival with this. If you're not strong, you don't survive. And then lovely and hateful Kuma announced revealing the embarrassing secrets. Which of course included Ichiro's embarrassing secret, which is more than willing to divulge. Even though he dresses like a girl, Chihiro's actually a boy.
Hey,
And that was something Chihiro could not let anyone find out, no matter the cost. If that was revealed, it would be the end. The hardened shell would crack, their armor would fall away. And then Dad, those around him would torture him more than ever before. He would figure out that crossing into such a remote and spinning and spiraling into despair.
What?
And yet...
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I don't want to talk about it right now.
But...
Possible when leave as soon as the way virus. So maybe we can talk about it later? As return members becomes strong. That's the time one.
Annoyingly, he is afraid of discovery to motivate so to become stronger.
That's right.
No, for sure.
I want to change.
I'm going to get stronger and accept who I am. Starting to discover where someone says, even though you're a boy, I'll be okay. I'll get better.
And with that in the front of his mind, he resolved to make immediate action. And so... that day, he made the commitment to begin exercising. He was prepared to retrain his mind and body. But sadly, that'd be the first and only chance to get at it.
Hey,
When he started exercising, he thought it would be good to ask someone's help. He went to tell that person his secret first, and then asked him to help from him. The person he went to...
Yeah, that's right.
It was Murray. Yep, so was. Viking kind of felt had been painfully clear about how important his mainland promises were. So Chihiro probably figured about even combining Mondo, his tongue would make him keep his secret. This was a mistake.
uh-huh.
Plus, Mr. Mantra Mondo was a very strong man that Chihiro had always aspired to. Maybe talking to Mondo about it would help me give me some courage. So he went to ask Mondo to help me become strong. That was his aspiration. And he found that only with Mondo's support we'd be able to become close to that.
Correct.
What do you mean? You mean that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from boys' locker room into girls' locker room?
Indeed. Certainly.
But...
Because...
Then Mondo did all that to keep her promising me to Chihiro, who he also killed. Because, no matter what, I don't want anyone to know.
I knew it.
What is this? You're wrong!
Don't make me repeat myself.
Well, while you're on the subject, why don't I tell you? That embarrassing memory, the secret didn't want anyone to know.
Hey,
You know what Mondo did? He killed his own brother. Sorry. Mondo, the ultimate biker gang leader, makes all of the hoodlums and riffraff across the country tremble. The rumors he had the chance to join a gang in person is because of a certain someone. What's that? Mondo's little brother name was Dio Owada. Mondo had nothing but respect for him. It was because of Dio that Mondo got forgotten on a motorcycle. Mondo's brother was his only family growing up. He was the only one Mondo could trust or respect. He wanted to measure up his brother, so he indicated him that everything he did. Mondo put in the tongue with starry-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the chaos like older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang. And before anyone knew it, they were growing into the biggest biker gang in the country. Diana, the older brother, number one in the gang, and number two is his brother, Mondo. In the beginning, everything was peaches and gravy. When Mondo started to think about how he would take over game his brother someday, his brother's greatness, his reputation began to gnaw on Mondo's very soul. Almost every day, Mondo heard a gossip about whispers of other members of the gang, which is why
I just...
I gotta get stronger. Stronger than Daya. Once, just one time. Remember what I go.
Don't fuck with me!
I don't feel like this. You gotta come out on top. I'm the night of the main brother's timing. We're gonna get this system. Stop doing rich baggy stuff. Crazy diamond. You can't grab that pushed away or regular for bandit. You can fix it. Something's happening. Let's see. Kiss Rubber's arms, the older brother delivered his final words.
My bad, kid.
My bad, kid. I messed up. Sorry. Of course, he knew it was his brother's fault, but Diane never blamed him for what happened. Hey, kid. The rest is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the game together. Because it's a team. You and me put together. It's a promise of three men. Aw, man. Is I ain't telling the truth what happened from everyone else in the game. In order to keep the game together, keep the promise of his life. He can never admit to anyone who was a witness to the cause of the accident. And as a result, the team was made even stronger under the banner of the kid old best of his brother. Dai was going to lose to his kid brother, so he got stupid and almost got himself killed. Then he gave an explanation of what happened. Ronald's life became the truth. Oh yeah, Bert the truth was always alive. He wanted to leave the team so bad. He wanted to leave the team so bad, he was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother.
I just...
I'm strong. Strong. Yes. After the killing game began, he realized the only time pretending to be was just another weakling that could die anyway. And then one day, the handbook on my camera announced revealing an embarrassing secret. At that point, it was clear we have no problem shedding light on the secrets. It's not really a secret, it's only advantage to history. Number one, I couldn't let the Elder Game members find out. If that happened, everything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother had worked to create would have been destroyed. His death, all the good been carried around until all would have been nothing. So that's why. That's why Mondo. I thought someone could have had on me. My head filled with kind of fuzzy uneasiness and started wandering around. I knew like it before.
I just...
I didn't know what to do with it. I wasn't sure what to think to say, but after a while, the fuzzy turned itself into a rock-hard lump of anxiety, way down my stomach. And it was right then that Chihiro asked me to start working out with him. And right there, I told me my secret. Seriously? Jesus.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry to lie to you.
But why? Why now? Why are you telling me this all of a sudden?
Huh?
Because, I mean, you get this secret all the time, right? If anyone find out, you would...
But...
You're right, but...
I want to change.
I read your 7 lies. I'm weak. I want to destroy the version of me forever.
His words are like a knife in my gut. I felt like he was exposing a lie I've been living myself. I am to change, but I don't want to be weak anymore. It's so strong, it can't hurt you, right? Why are we seeing what gonna tell us?
You piece of...
So what? You're saying I should just say it?
What?
You're saying if I really am
What?
to tell everyone more secrets?
Huh?
I was jealous. I was jealous of Hugo's strength. I ever seen his face his own weakness to try and overcome it. It was the kind of strength I never had. So I was jealous of him. That jealousy broke me.
What? What?
Why are you making fun of me? I'm strong and you're messing with me right now?
No!
No, I'm not making fun of you. You really are strong, Mondo. I felt like it just started to creak. Something inside my head snapped. What do you want me to do? What was I supposed to do? What was I supposed to sit back and let my secret revealed and ruin everything?
What's wrong?
That's all!
Damn you!
Why did you tell me that? Are you trying to rub my belly on my face?
I just wanted to...
I really am.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. I am strong. Strong. I am strong. Stronger than you.
You son of a bitch!
Instructor even die. I don't remember anything after that. When I woke up again, he was lying at my feet, covered in blood. I have a dumbbell in my hand, and I was just staring at him, down on the ground.
I killed him. I killed Chihiro. Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Mondo. It was almost so aggressive, so in that weak side away from everything. That was the secret. Weakness like that lived in his heart like this, and it turned him cold-blooded. God damn. Look at him, you see? You're all just like him. From secret from the past to he can never live in human and cold life. He can't free his breath from the outside world. He doesn't know what true strength is. If he need help, anywhere in there, because I sure don't.
Yep.
Punishing?
It can't be.
Well now.
Ridiculous.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment. Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
I'm sorry, bro.
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
Mondo Wada has been found guilty. Time for the punishment. Pretty good feeling. Even why is occasion death.
I do not care that you are a murderer! I do not even care that you are a furry! Please! This is not welcome in a school that pirate fan!
Ladies and gentlemen, it's yet another hilariously fitting execution! Now let's lay this on thick and lay this furious furry to rest with this! What just happened? He's butter now, no questions!
I don't think a squid is part of a complete breakfast, but it stays soggy in milk.
Another murder, another execution. I want to feel you. Everyone's lives are taken so lightly here. I feel like it might be going wrong. Maybe I'll just let it happen? As Saga's sad screams avoided our skulls, Rage forced to realize once again. But of course he had to.
What is this?
Naturally.
Hey. However...
What?
That would make things worse. No, you made things worse than it's supposed to be, Biogun. Come on.
Honestly. There is nothing to be done.
What?
Well...
That's right.
I see.
But...
Interesting.
Correct. Indeed. Hey.
What's this?
You.
Do you like him? But you know, especially with this despair, it's not just for you. All punishments, all this grace might give to mankind.
What?
I am not worried, exactly. These punishments are transformed all hope to despair.
Damn. Huh? What the heck?
Good grief, I don't know why you have to take half on every stupid little thing.
Ooh, how exciting!
That's enough. In the name of my family.
You're getting all riled up!
But I know that was not the end, obviously. We still got a few more chapters left. And a few students. Because the mastermind will not let it end. For those of us who are still alive, our worst fear and despair kept on multiplying. It was kind of a despair that felt like a blind puppy and, heck, made more of the future than us. All of our courage, our effort, our friendship, it felt like nothing mattered to nothing at all. It was the worst kind of despair.
Well, anyway, like I was saying, this is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot. Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring? Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. Fear and despair charge forward at a speed nothing can hope to match. But I must admit, I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part. You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right? Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now. So just do your best to make things more exciting after all. That's what everyone wants to see. As long as you don't want to know my measurements, fire away! Ooh. My, you really took me by surprise. I know I said you could ask anything. Super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied. Because you see, that's my ace and nobody'd be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their friends.
Chapter 2, The Boy's Life of Despair. The end. There are now 10 people remaining. 5 are dead. To be continued. You're waking my stand power. Crazy Diamond. Ugh.